it can't be explained by a drone or a helicopter. It adds to the body of evidence that is occurring now in terms of video data and imagery that has convinced me that we are not alone in the universe.
The truth is out there, Fox Mulder said. The Pentagon today released what it says are never-before-seen images of unidentified aerial phenomenon, UAPs, or as you and I know them, UFOs, as well as several investigations into reported sightings that span decades. CNN's Tom Foreman probed the files to see what our interstellar neighbors may have been up to.
Crackling with videos and photos showing cryptic images of what appear to be very peculiar flying craft. The release by the Pentagon has UFO and UAP watchers buzzing, even as President Trump, who ordered the release, has said he doesn't know if there is life beyond Earth.
I don't have an opinion on it. I never talk about it. A lot of people do.
Many of the newly released reports are quite recent. For example, U.S. intelligence officials just last year saying they saw glowing orbs traveling in some undisclosed spot at a high rate of speed. They appeared to be oval-shaped, orange in color with a white or yellow center, and emitting light in all directions. In 2022, there are reports of a military sensor tracking a UAP moving from north to south, and in another report, flying from west to east. In 2024, a teardrop-shaped craft and an uneven ball of white light and a diamond-shaped vessel traveling nearly 500 miles an hour are all reported by military observers.
All engines running, commit, liftoff.
Older NASA missions also appear, although many were made public earlier. Among them, a bit of unusual audio between the capsule and ground control during the 1965 Gemini 7 mission.
This is Houston. Say again, 7?
We have a bogey at 10 o'clock high.
You have any more information, estimated distance or size?
It looks like hundreds of little particles going by to the left out about 3 to 4 miles.
Also, Apollo 12 astronaut Alan Bean reporting from space in 1969. You can see these lights, particles of light, flashes of light, and they're just sailing off. They really haul out of here and press off out at the stars. There are many pages of comments by curious citizens, some obvious hoaxes, and more, but no solid answers about what it all means from government officials present or past.
I have not seen any firm evidence that there are aliens out there. What the Pentagon is now doing is basically letting the American people make up their own minds.
Now, let's be clear about this. Almost all of this does get explained. It's an airplane, or it's a weather balloon, or it's a meteoroid, or it's sometimes even some type of mirage. Almost all of it. But some of it has not been explained, and that's what keeps the interest alive in this. And I think it's going to grow even more because the Pentagon says they're going to release even more files, which perhaps more current sightings.
All right, Tom Foreman, thanks so much. Let's talk about this now with retired U.S. Navy Rear Admiral Tim Gallaudet. He's the former head of the Naval Meteorology and Oceanography Command. Sorry, got a cold here. He ran the Naval Observatory, and he became the acting administrator of the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. And due to some of his own personal experience, he's a firm believer that not only do aliens exist, they have come to Earth. So, Rear Admiral, I want to get to your opinion in a sec. But I do want to ask about your reaction to the material released today. So I guess first, what was your reaction to what was released today?
Well, I was quite impressed, Jake, and thanks for having me. And this is really could be a historic moment for government transparency in general, and that related to UFOs or UAP specifically. Really, the government has been involved with an 80-year cover-up of the data, information, and material evidence of the reality of these objects and phenomena, and now it's coming out. And I really didn't think this would happen, but the whole body of evidence of these videos, some are of course grainy and hard to determine and need more data behind them, but others are quite extraordinary and back up previous videos released, as well as testimony in a documentary film that I was a part of called The Age of Disclosure that included very senior government officials, including current Secretary of State and National Security Advisor Marco Rubio.
So tell us what convinced you that aliens have been here. There was a 2015 incident with the USS Theodore Roosevelt. Tell us about that.
Okay, I wouldn't say that convinced me aliens were here. What I'd really like to characterize that as there are objects in our airspace and water space that we can't explain, and they're under intelligent control that we don't understand their nature or intentions. And that's a reality. It's not adversaries. It's not our own technology. I wouldn't call them aliens. We don't know where they're from. We don't know what their nature is. We don't know why they're here and what their intent is, but they're prevalent. And these videos are another tip of the iceberg, basically, because I'm aware of many, many more videos and images and reports by credible observers in the military and in the intelligence community of these kind of objects and phenomena that we just cannot explain.
So I guess the question is, what are they if they're not aliens of some form, alien life form or robot life form sent from someone? Because, I mean, do you think that the Russians or the Iranians or the Chinese are capable of this kind of technology that you're talking about?
I do not. I've been read into our adversaries' capabilities, and I'm pretty certain, I'm very certain that this is not them. And what they are, we don't know. And that's why the release of these initial videos is so historic, because if the Pentagon follows through in the administration releasing more, then we can actually open this up to independent research from universities, from think tanks, and the government, actually government bodies that have been reluctant to research this, like my former organizations, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or the Office of the Naval Oceanographic Office, or the Office of Naval Intelligence. If we can start conducting deliberate research into them, we can find out now what are these and answer all these questions that still remain unanswered.
I don't know how much time you've had to go over what was released today, but what was the most significant thing you saw that was released today?
I looked at every single report, video, and image, Jake, and I think the one that stood out to me is this UFO that is moving around a wind farm in the Indo-Pacific region, and it's absolutely remarkable. I'll ask your audience to pull it up, but this object is maneuvering around these wind turbines, and it can't be explained. We don't have it can't be explained by a drone or a helicopter. It adds to the body of evidence that's occurring now in terms of video data and imagery that has convinced me that we are not alone in the universe.
All right, I'll find out what you're talking about, and I'll put it out on social media and say this is what Admiral Gallaudet was talking about. Thank you so much. Please come back again. Fascinating conversation.